to the Ram Network where the fun never takes a rest. Oh yeah. Sports, pop culture, wrestling too. We got it all with the very best. Tune into the filter-free podcast for the latest in entertainment news. TNA Top 10 will make you laugh with their hilarious views.
Welcome to the Ram Network, WrestleMania Pregame Freeview. You're now watching the show of the hour, the show with the power, too sweet to be sour. And joining me from the TNA Top 10, it's the A in the TNA. Andrew, how are you?
I'm good, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing great. If I was any better, I'd have to be twins just so I could stand it. And from the filter-free podcast, it's Timmy C. What's up, Timmy C?
Who? Just be ready because Hermes will be dropping in and out. I'm sure he's got that North Carolina shitter net going on.
Well, you know.
We are hardwired today, so this is our best chance to not have shitternet.
I don't care about your sex life.
No, just... Man, guys, I'm excited. WrestleMania weekend's in full swing. I've been in there. I was watching the end of the Hall of Fame. I slept through the last part of it, so I got to see The Rock confronting Cody. I thought that was really good. Just saw the main event. I was watching the beginning of the main event because my wife's in there watching it, and The Rock's entrance was seeing it again. I mean, that guy is just on a different level. He's on a different level, and
he kind of knows what he's doing.
Championship belt has made my belt pope pants go crazy.
One's hardwired and the other one's belt pope pants is going crazy. I don't know if I need
pants are crazy. Say that 10 times fast.
He'll do a dance.
But I'm super excited for what's coming up tonight. The possibilities are endless. And the thing that excites me so much is, when is the last time that you were so excited about professional wrestling that you had it on your brain and you've rebooked the possibilities in your head over and over? I mean, you're just, man, I rebooked it in church this morning. So that's how excited I am that, I mean, I even had a friend, a good friend of the show, Mike Page, suggested a little while ago that, what if Triple H strolls down to ringside with a sledgehammer tonight looking like he's going to help Cody and hit Cody instead?
That would be weird. Well, after the spear last night, I'm thinking The Rock's probably going to show up and get his revenge.
Well, yeah, but Seth saved Cody from that spear. But you got to think about the sheer timing of that spot was incredible. But, you know, maybe Triple H just decided to suck up to The Rock to save his job. And get a little revenge on Cody for that whole sledgehammer on the throne deal at the other place.
I was there for that, and that pop when he hit the throne with the sledgehammer was fantastic. I mean, the place went bananas. They really did. They went bananas. Might have been
there.
cheap.
I seen it.
Yep. I mean, they went ape shit in Vegas when he did that.
So I'm just telling you. Hang on. This just in from Dollar Bill Dave. Sami Zayn still sucks balls. Give Gunther his immediate rematch tonight.
Dave's out on a boat. He can't be bothered with us.
He hates Sami Zayn with the same dark, burning, purple passion intensity that Justin Davis loves Bret the Hitman Hart.
Oh, God.
I wanted to cry last night in the Rey Mysterio match. I hate that son of a bitch.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out where you were going.
I hate him.
Rey Mysterio?
Yeah.
You're like the only person on the planet. We were talking about that last night. He's universally
Terrible
loved.
Terrible.
I don't
Universally
hate
loved.
him. I don't hate him, but I think he ought to be taller than me to be world heavyweight champion. You got to be at least this
Damn.
tall to ride that ride.
Damn.
They let him beat the Big Show at one point.
But they did to feel good.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And Randy Orton and Kurt Angle.
And Kevin Nash.
So, well, yeah.
Way too many people. Way too many people.
But, he's always gave me hope as a little guy that I could whoop a big man.
Well, you just don't fight like little guy.
I mean, he should have set records. He should have been like the 14-time midget champion. He'd have ruled that division. He'd have been what the Big Show is in regular wrestling.
Well, listen, serious statement here, though. And I'm not saying that Rey Mysterio is not talented. Don't take that. Don't get it twisted.
That's me. That's what I say.
Hate tweets that Timmy C 1979. But what if Rey Mysterio would have committed to 205 Live? I mean, you put arguably one of the greatest luchadors to ever do it on 205.
It was
maybe it would have had a fighting.
You know how hard it is to get something beneath him?
It was beneath
so
him.
low to the ground.
It was beneath him, though, by that point.
But it didn't have to be.
Yeah.
That's
you ever hear of maybe lifting something up?
Maybe he would have done something. Maybe he could have done something that they call business and got on 205 Live and embraced it and made the Cruiserweight Championship something that wasn't a 35-minute internet infomercial.
I know you're not used.
It became Sunday Night Heat.
I was going to say, I know you're not used to being that high on your moral high horse there, Dave. Don't get a nosebleed. But here's the thing about that. If the owner of the company doesn't take it seriously, why should the talent?
Well, I think he may not own the company, but the guy that's running the company right now is taking it serious. But I mean,
not
you can
205
say that, and that's just a knock on WWE. And I promise we're fixing to get into the WrestleMania preview. But I've kind of had a knot in my ass about doing business, because all of this that's going to happen on Wednesday night on the other channel with showing the backstage video, which I have no problem with, because if you're gonna F around, you're gonna find out.
And it's their video. They can do what they want with it.
Well, what they should have done is that Tony Khan's nuts should have dropped when all that went down and would have said, hey, guess what? Now that y'all have had a fight in the back, we're going to have a 6-man tag next week. Kenny and the Bucks are going to be on one side. Punk and Gary and the damn dog or anybody else we want to put in there is going to be on the other side. And that's what y'all are going to do on television next week. And then whoever didn't want to do it would say, oh, no, we're not going to do that because I need to work in a safe space. It's professional wrestling, so get over yourself. But what should have happened is that money match should have been on TV the next week, drawing well over 1 million viewers. And then if anybody that was named there didn't want to go in the ring and do it, you fire their ass for breach of contract, and they don't get paid, and they can't go anywhere else until the limit of their term of their contract is up. That's how you do it. How many times have you heard them say, this shit ain't real anyway? You don't win and lose. It's business.
Hey, what do you think? What do you think happens? Let's just say at the Jacksonville Jaguars facility, if someone refuses to do their job, you think they get paid?
Released.
Yeah. You think he would have learned from dealing with
I go back
sports.
to Edge. I go back to Edge and Matt Hardy. Edge is raw dogging Matt Hardy's girlfriend all over. He's nationwide in Matt Hardy's girlfriend. Why Matt Hardy's home hurt. And they got in the ring and did business. And if they can do that, then that's what should have happened in Jacksonville. And there shouldn't be any, if Punk and Jungle Boy had a problem, Punk and Jungle Boy should have been put on television. That's the difference between the two companies. Is Vince McMahon, dirty word or not, knew how to take the backstage shit and the real life shit and put it in front of the camera and defuse it. And I don't know if they made any money on it, but they tried to make money on it.
Well,
And
trust me, with Edge and Matt Hardy, they made a ton of money on it.
exactly. And I mean, poor Matt Hardy. How hard is? I mean, can you imagine? But that's professional. That's professional because I'm quite sure he wanted to rip Edge's dong off and feed it to him. So, I mean, that's a real life personal situation.
You know what's even funnier is they're both in AEW, so you would think you could be like, "Hey, here's what we did back in the day." Nah,
yeah,
everyone goes there for a payday. No one wants to help out.
I know.
No one wants to do anything that's responsible there.
So that's my rant today. I'm not even sure how I got there, but I've just kind of had a knot in my ass all day about that.
I only have a question because I don't know. Didn't they sign NDAs? And doesn't that break them?
They did not sign NDAs. Not on that.
Oh. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't
on the Jungle Boy thing?
I don't know, but I've been told by people that do know that there was no reason they hadn't already shown the video. There was no legal ramifications of showing the video.
Oh, okay.
So
but I didn't know. That's why I asked. Because they've got NDAs on Punk and the Bucks and Kenny and all the others.
Yeah, but this was a different situation. So, and Punk Punk wouldn't have talked about it. I mean, he's had the shit suit out of him, so he wouldn't have talked about it on that podcast with Hawani if it wouldn't have been something he could talk about. But I think in hindsight now, he'll wish he wouldn't have talked about it because I got a feeling that when they showed this video, they wouldn't be showing this video Wednesday night.
Yeah, if he was telling the truth, they wouldn't be like,
yeah,
hey,
if they weren't going to poke holes in his story with the video, then they wouldn't have they wouldn't be doing it.
Well, and if anything, the Kennedy assassination taught us you can manipulate video too. So, they're going to present it in the best light for AEW and the worst light for CM Punk.
Well, I got a feeling this is going to be like security footage from a ring cam. I don't know how much they can do with it.
I'm okay with it. Don't get it twisted. Anything that shits on CM Punk is fine with me because he is hot garbage. He's worse than Bret Hart, and that's bad. Like, I mean, if you're on my shitty scale and you're worse than Bret Hart on that scale,
is he worse than Rey Mysterio?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe for you, no, but for me, I like Rey Mysterio.
He's taller than Rey Mysterio, so gets a little bit of credibility.
Yeah, I don't hate the Rey Mysterio. I just think that Rey Mysterio is. I think he was world heavyweight champ. What do I know? What do I know? He's a millionaire. I sell potato chips. So here we go. WrestleMania Night 2 is coming up, y'all. And we have Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus
whatever they're called.
Whatever they're calling themselves.
Karrion Kross and the AOP.
AOP and Karrion Kross. What are they? The Ultimate Kingdom or the Final?
Something Destruction or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
know. The losers of this match is what they are.
And and I say that like I'm dismissing them, but they've got Paul Ellering with them, and I love Paul Ellering. So I just don't know what they call themselves.
They kind of came out of nowhere. So,
but I think this is the night. I think this is the night that Lashley and the Street Profits finally get a little revenge because much like Main Event Jay, they've been disrupting their lives for so long that it's time for them to get a little payback.
Yeah. Betting odds have the Profits and Lashley as the favorite.
Okay. Do you have the betting odds handy, or did you just have the favorites?
I have the favorites. I don't have them handy.
Okay. Well, good.
My close personal friend Efren put a video out on Twitter about it. So
yeah, I was going to steal it till I saw it was Efren.
So that's where I get my betting odds.
Yeah. I learned my lesson my hard way about betting on wrestling a long time ago, though.
Well, you have to go to England to do it. So,
like last night. Last night I was 100% on my picks for night 1, but if I'd have had any money on it, I'd have been 100% wrong. All right. Are we all in agreement that it's going to be Lashley and the Street Profits?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. And the people said L.A. Knight versus the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Could they have airbrushed those two anymore? They look like cartoon characters. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was thinking they look like they're selling hair product.
They both could. I'm telling you. The betting odds have LA Knight as a 4-1 favorite, minus 400. But that has come down from a 6-1 favorite before the week started. So the money is moving towards AJ Styles. But I still think LA Knight wins.
My brain tells me LA Knight's going to win. But my heart kind of tells me that AJ Styles is going to win because just what's been going on with AJ being angry. And
think it's part of his new character.
I think it is, and I think that makes him a perfect opponent for a brand new champion in Cody Rhodes if that's what happens.
LA Knight seems to have lost a little steam too, I think.
They both seem to have lost steam.
Well, I think AJ Styles actually gained some with his new gimmick coming out as the mad guy.
Hey, Chilling with Chase is saying LA Knight's at minus 600, AJ's at plus 350.
Then it's gone back up. Efren had it at minus 400, I believe. So maybe the money's heading back to LA Knight now.
He also says that Bet Online shows the odds. Thank you, Chilling with Chase. We appreciate that. Thanks for joining us today. While we're at it, I'm going to go ahead and shout out to chat that Dollar Dave is drinking heavily in the chat. Jason Young.
Shocker.
My good friend Jason Young's out there. Chilling with Chase is with us. Thank y'all for taking time to spend some of your Sunday afternoon to pregame with us. I'm gonna make man. I'm on such a roll though about something that ain't gonna make my life any better or worse either way. I'm gonna go AJ Styles. AJ Styles, because not every match can be predictable. I'm saying AJ Styles, and maybe there'll be some kind of surprise screwing that'll come along.
So a couple things on this match for me. Number one, they actually got AJ to use profanity, which he doesn't do often, in the little skirmish they had at, what was it, the WWE World or whatever during the signing, so during the interviews. Come up bloody too, LA Knight calling him a pussy. So there you see some old school intensity there. I really like that. LA Knight needs this more than AJ Styles needs this. But I'm going to go with AJ Styles getting the win and doing it underhandedly to solidify this new character that he is developing.
Maybe they bring back Gallows and Anderson. They ain't been doing much lately.
Yeah, but you'd have to do something to elevate them too at this point. I mean, I wanted that mass tag team to be them so bad last night. That's it. Because I'm a fan of both those guys. Yeah. Did you take LA Knight or did you take Styles, Timmy?
Taking LA Knight.
All right. Timmy's the one. While we're talking about it, though, calling AJ Styles a pussy, even AJ's cussing. Lots of cussing going on. Lots of we're advertising vodka on the ring.
It's Cody's vodka.
I mean, is the WWE and TKO entered the F them kids era?
I think so. I mean, Triple H was talking an awful lot about the Attitude Era when he was talking about bringing about change on Friday.
Yep. Yeah, he did a full court press media scrum, and every interview's talking about a new era, the new beginning for WWE. And I mean, I think WrestleMania is his endorsement, and he has to put a stamp on this one. Language-wise, he was like, we've got The Rock cussing, and if it matters when you use it or you don't use it. I mean, he said we're booking meetings, and every other word is the F word. He said from that standpoint, that's not really effective. When you use the language, it's powerful. The only reason I pointed it out is AJ Styles is not a cusser.
Exactly.
But He's not a cusser. Now The Rock, of course, has really dialed it up. And it works for his particular character, but I don't think that I don't think you're going to see the TV rating go down. I think it's going to go up to the 14. I don't think it's going to be because even Triple H said we've been really G. He said it's not even been PG.
Yeah.
We've been very G. And he's talking about that from the perspective of a parent of 3 daughters.
Yeah.
So he's saying they're very G rated, even in an era when they're supposed to be PG and it's okay. So anyway, I didn't mean to get long winded there, but that I watched his interview is very fascinating. Listening to his mind, listening to him verbalize what he's actually thinking his process is.
Yeah, as a grandparent that shares wrestling with his grandkids, I mean, I'm not gonna act like my grandkids hadn't heard everybody cuss. I mean, I mean, every year my New Year's resolution is to not use the F-bomb, and I think in the last decade, 16 days is the record. This year it's like 16 minutes. So
I couldn't go 16 seconds. So good for you, Dave.
I'm a cusser, I try not to be, but I am. So, I mean, I'm not throwing stones and casting dispersions. I just noticed that we do seem to be gearing towards adults. And I think that might be a smart business model because look at the action figures. They're not putting Big Bubba Rogers in a box with the UWF championship belt for the kids.
Nope.
They're not putting Hulk Hogan in the cape with Freddie Blassie for the kids. They're not putting Harley Race with the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in a box for the kids.
No, Dave's bought all of them.
Oh man, I'm trying to get tracking. I was trying to get tracking on the Terry Gordy figure.
If I may, because I want to point this out, but you're more of a collector than I am, obviously, Dave. The other thing is, if you've noticed the price of those said collectibles, they're not priced to be toys.
No.
At $35 and $45 a piece for an action figure, they aren't priced to be toys.
Well, look at the Power Town series. Power Town, their action figures roughly came out to be $40 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
And I took mine out of the box and put them in a wrestling ring. So, but what I'm telling you about them is they're not built to hold up to a child playing with them. If I let my grandson play with them, the legs would come off, the arms would come off. They're not those type of action figures that you could actually do anything with. Me just trying to put a belt around them or move their jackets.
They're figurines. They're not.
They're fragile. They're not the same quality of a Mattel that is designed to go with the kids playing with them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my grandkids get action figures, but it's off the Walmart clearance aisle. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. If you go get Randy Orton Elite for $5,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have to pay $22.99. They also have the mid-tier section that's normally $11.99, which is probably what most kids play with. I mean, I was looking last night. They're coming out with a Great Muta.
Mm-hmm.
That's
not for the children.
No, my grandkid doesn't know who the Great Muta is. I can't wait to get that figure and put the head on him that's got the mist coming out of his mouth. I mean, that's going to be one of the heads that comes with it. So,
right.
So if you're gearing the toys, the wrestling belts are selling like crazy at $500 a pop.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, $300 to $500 a pop, because not everybody waits for a promo code. A lot of people buy them at the events. When you're throwing that kind of much money into a wrestling hobby, you're gearing it for adults.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I hosted a watch party last night that commented quite a bit about the advertising that was put on the ring aprons and around the ring. And I truly believe that the people in the arena couldn't see that. It was just for the people at home, because the NHL does the same thing with the sideboards, and they actually put advertising on the ice and on sideboards. It changes up throughout the broadcast. I think that that's the revenue stream that they're going with, but I couldn't believe how many people had an opinion about it. And I mean, to me, especially Wingstop.
You
Wingstop
were
was getting
upset about
massive heat, and
Wingstop?
I'm like, all this is doing is pissing me off that I can't go get I can't go get a 10-piece with some lemon pepper.
I like Wingstop. Wingstop is good.
I mean,
We're having wings tonight for my watch party I'm going to. But they
so
won't be from Wingstop. They're from the local bar, Dave. We're supporting local.
local wings are best.
Oh.
Local wings are best. I have a local place that I'm supporting pretty heavily right now.
When I smoke
with
my
their
own
sweet-
wings, those are the best.
Sweet chili lemon pepper is the jam, y'all. But I digress. Logan Paul, whether he's supposed to be for the kids. Now, my grandson, he drinks Prime. He loves Logan Paul. He goes, that's Logan Paul. That's the Prime guy.
Yeah.
So Logan Paul's for the kids, whether he acts like it or not. This is going to be a good match. Logan Paul has not disappointed yet when he showed up.
I'd say he's going to retain.
I think he is going to retain, and I think that Randy Orton and Kevin Owens may feud coming out of this. What do y'all think?
This one steals the show for me. I think this one has show stealer all over it. Logan Paul, in my opinion, and it's my opinion, is the best celebrity WWE has ever had who has successfully made the transition from celebrity to professional wrestler. He's doing it at a very high level. He's got a very high in-ring IQ. He understands selling. The whole brass knuckle spot at Elimination Chamber in Australia was fantastic. And he's doing everything right. Not to mention, like Randy Savage and Slim Jim, he has brought Prime along with him, and he's paying for himself. So that Prime sponsorship ends up paying for itself in many ways. Logan Paul retains the title and does so in a heel fashion that, like you said, Dave, will lead to Orton and Owens feuding at some point.
Well, to be fair, he owns Prime, so that's why he brought it along with him.
I think, if I'm calling, this is how I'm going to call it. I think that Randy Orton hits the RKO on Kevin Owens. Logan Paul shit cans Randy Orton and steals the 3.
Well, and my point, Timmy, being that you have a wrestler associated with a item again.
Yeah.
So that was more what I was getting at. Savage was Slim Jim. Everybody knew who Randy Savage was because of Slim
Still
Jim.
is. What are you talking about?
Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen a national commercial? You ever seen a national commercial for Prime?
I don't know that I have.
Traditional network commercial for Prime.
I don't think so.
It's product placement and internet.
YouTube is where they sell
it. That's a successful business, and it's not really a new business model. Let me tell y'all a story about a company called CKE that owns Carl's Jr. And in 2005, 2006, until recently, their business model, for one, Carl's Jr. does not care if a woman eats their hamburgers. They did not care because none of their stuff is healthy, and they're not apologetic about it. It's good. Carl's Jr. is a good quality. Everybody will say, well, it's just Hardee's. It's a little better than Hardee's. It's a little more, the same company, but Carl's Jr. is more of a premium Hardee's. But what I'm telling you is they would do a commercial with Paris Hilton washing a car and eating a hamburger. They'd use models. It was all supermodels. And they would put the commercial on television very quickly, and it was gone. Just long enough to piss off the feminists, and they got to chattering. And everybody would head to the internet to watch the commercials.
Yep.
They'd spend very little revenue on advertising, rely on the outrage
to keep
tell guys like me Carl's hamburgers.
Any attention is good attention.
Right.
Yep.
Now, after so many years, they're like, okay, everybody's got the term of the day is a knot in their ass. Everybody's got a knot in their ass now, so we can't do this with the women anymore. So they had Carl Sr. show back up at headquarters to get Carl Jr. in his place. Because Carl Jr.'s in the hot tub with 2 women. They had a whole
That's funny.
commercial about, if y'all y'all can find it on YouTube. It's really entertaining. But basically, Carl Jr. was back. It was a funny commercial, and he got it back under control. But the genius is they knew how to use the internet to sell a product a long time ago. And this man, Logan Paul, the United States champion,
Is doing the
has
same
taken
thing.
it to another level.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen, I have to run my HVAC guys here. My furnace is down. So everyone enjoy WrestleMania. See
Thank you,
y'all
Timmy.
later.
Hopefully we'll see you back for the
See ya.
wrap up tonight. It's just me and you, Andrew. We're gonna mess some stuff up now.
Yeah, because I'm not going to behave myself. No, Logan Paul wins that, I think. Oh my, here we go.
The sky is falling. The sky is falling. Because Bayley hit it in the head. I don't see a scenario. That Bayley does not defeat Io Sky tonight.
Nah, these are two Triple H ladies, both put together, obviously, because he thinks they're going to have a great match. Bayley has been absent of a WrestleMania moment for a few years, and she's probably due. Probably time for her to have a moment to win a match that's significant and then be able to move on. We did see Rhea retain last night, though, so you wouldn't think both would retain. And Io Sky's been a great champion. I don't have a problem with her run. I think they kind of telegraphed this whole Damage Control breakup a little too much. But they did the same thing with Evolution back in 05 when Batista turns on Triple H and ends up beating him for the world title there at WrestleMania. So this could be a great match, I think. I don't know that it's going to steal the show. I really think that's the one we just talked about, but they'll bring it. This isn't some match on the other channel on a Friday night. These ladies will be ready, and it'll be a good one.
Yeah, I think that they need Bayley. I have not been impressed with Io Sky's reign. It's been really underwhelming to me. I mean, she won it with Money in the Bank. I don't know. Bayley, I mean, y'all remember, if you've listened to me over the last couple of years, I've really never been a huge fan of Bayley. I haven't been a fan of Bayley at all. Like, a genuine dislike for her as a person. But I've come around on her. She's entertaining. And she's great in the ring. And with her as champion, if you have any inkling that you might want to put Jade Cargill in a title situation, Bayley would be the one to carry her to great matches. And I don't believe that Io Sky, I could be wrong, but I don't think Io Sky has that in her to carry people to great matches.
Yeah, I don't think Jade is ready for Bayley yet, but would like to see her work with a few others first. On the other hand, I do believe that Bayley as the champion has a lot of potential for other matches. And yes, Allison hates Bayley, but she needs to win. And
I
that
love
might be
Allison for that.
kind of what I was getting at, is she needs to win because she hasn't won the big one for a while. It's been
Well,
a
and I
while
think
for
that if she
Bayley.
wins it, and she immediately just becomes a bitch again. She doesn't have to win it and then ride the white horse into the sunset. She can get it, and then all of a sudden she's the hunted, and she acts like she's the hunted. Everybody's against her again. She can play
Mhm.
the victim card and just be a bitch to everybody. She's a tremendous heel.
Yeah,
She's a tremendous
agreed.
heel. And you already laid the groundwork that Bianca doesn't trust her.
Yep.
So, and we need, the Bianca could chase her. So there's so much they can do. Again, we could sit here and fantasy book this thing, and the show would be over when we're still coming up with all the possibilities. I'm going to
Well, and
jump over.
before you move on, we talked about it last night, and I stand on it and don't have a problem standing on it. WWE is so talent rich in the women's division. They could have a 2-hour show every week and it wouldn't be boring.
And how scary is it
Just
that
women. Just women.
Julia was in attendance to NXT,
Yep.
who by some accounts is the best women's wrestler in the world. So
Yep.
I mean, that's one right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shout out Allison Fays here. I'm gonna shout out Willie Buck. Willie Buck, thank you. Heather Whitley is with us today.
We love Heather.
And B40 said, I'm hopping around 9 p.m. I'm hoping around 9 p.m. that Roman pulls a that doesn't work for me, brother. LOL.
Whoever B40 is, he's a heel, and we love it. We love it.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you. Well, we'll talk about it when we get to it. We'll talk.
Yeah,
about
let's talk. We'll talk about Cody when we get there, because I'm gonna get my shit in.
Cart before the horse.
Ah.
Seth freaking Rollins and Drew McIntyre. This, to me, is going to be the show stealer. This is going to be the show stealer because Seth sells. Seth is a salesman. Seth is going to be thinking that he's in the grave. And I do think that CM Punk comes into play here.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that Seth pulls out the win thanks to CM Punk doing something to Drew. Or maybe CM Punk will swerve us all and he's healthy and he leaves both of them laying. But I think Damian Priest cashes in tonight. So I think there's a 75% chance, 90% chance that Damian Priest cashes in on Seth and leaves as champion. I think, though, I love what Drew's doing. Just the way I never thought I would see a wrestler recite the lyrics to Amazing Grace as a promo and make it a powerful promo. And yet here we are.
Yeah.
I love Drew McIntyre so much. It's hard to hate him. It's hard to hate him as he hasn't pissed me off as a heel.
So you hadn't liked Bayley for the last few years, and I haven't liked Drew McIntyre. Unfortunately,
8 years.
8 years. Okay. 8
8
years. Well, I haven't liked Drew McIntyre for a few years, and he's the COVID champ, and unfortunately, he'll always be the COVID champ, and that's something that he did as well as he possibly could. However, this is what I'll say about Drew McIntyre. Thank you, CM Punk, for making Drew McIntyre interesting again.
I don't know who this guy is, but I like
B40.
him. I like him.
Oh, stop it. I love his outfits. I will take all the heat. Send your tweets to @30yearfan or @TNA Top 10 because I love Seth Rollins' outfits, presentation, everything about him. But the Drew McIntyre doesn't work without CM Punk. This run McIntyre is on is absolutely fantastic.
When he tells CM Punk that he prayed for him to be hurt, I'm thinking that he's missed an opportunity that he's not on Cameo, having people pay for him to pray for somebody.
This one though, you're going to have all sorts of interference. Seth Rollins is legitimately hurt, as has been reported multiple times. He needs time away. I think it's time to make Priest. If you're going to make him, let's do it. Do it in Philadelphia. They're going to eat it up because that crowd loves someone like a Damian Priest. And Drew McIntyre.
I don't think I believe he's as hurt as everybody's saying he is.
Well, supposedly it's a meniscus, but now you don't always have to have surgery on the meniscus, but he has also been the workhorse, Dave, that you love so much. And we haven't got to Roman yet, so you can shit on how many times he's defended the title. But
and I will.
I know it should cue you up. We'll just get him. All I got to do is wind him up, folks, and point, and he's going to shit on Roman. But the thing about Seth Rollins is he's been there every night working, night in, night out. He's putting on great matches. I just don't think that Drew McIntyre is going to take the title off of him. I think you get the clusterfuck at the end of the match that results in Damian Priest walking away with the world championship.
Well, I want to point out that I've said that Carol Burnett's been a great influence on wrestling this year with Tony Storm. Tony Storm is doing Nora Desmond from the Carol Burnett show. Luther. Luther is the Max character in that, and Seth Rollins also has taken a page from the Carol Burnett show, because what he wore last night, if that wasn't designed by Bob Mackey, that looked like some Carol Burnett coming down the stairs on the Gone with the Wind skit, where she took the curtain rod off and put the curtains on and came down the stairs, and that used it as a dress. But Carol Burnett famously used Bob Mackey designs on her show. And when I saw Seth doing that last night, I'm thinking that he has jumped on the Carol Burnett show bandwagon as well. That's my hot take for today.
I love that outfit because it was so obnoxious. I mean, that's really what it breaks down to. The fact he had a 12-foot train on the back of that outfit is hilarious to me.
Oh, my wife goes, what the hell is Seth wearing? What is he wearing?
We love Teppy. Oh yeah, and if you have to ask, that means he did his job. Let's be honest, because you can't take your eyes off of the cluster that it is.
Yeah, this is going to be match of the night, though. I think so. I really do.
I already picked mine. You're not getting me to change my mind.
Okay.
I'm going with Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens.
All right. Next up,
the
main event.
Main event.
The final chapter of the story. Is this the final chapter of the story?
Absolutely not.
The tribal chief, Roman Reigns, against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Bloodline rules. The deck is stacked against our boy, but can he pull it out? Will he emerge victorious and finish the story, or will Roman Reigns continue his Make-A-Wish title reign? Well, he confirmed last night he still has leukemia, that he has to take oral chemotherapy every day.
Yep.
So, I mean, maybe that's his wish, is to pass Hulk Hogan and only defend the title 58 times in the process.
It's a different era. You can't compare what they were doing in the golden age of the Hulk rules to what they're doing now with Roman.
Seth Rollins has defended the world title more times than Roman has.
That might be, but here's the problem for all the whiny crybabies. Roman negotiated himself a good deal. Roman is box office. Roman is a draw. They do everything they can to surround Roman with all of the talent, all of the spectacle, all of the magnetism.
Interesting you say that, because I heard Triple H in an interview talking about wrestlers going elsewhere to make more money with less dates.
Correct.
And he said that he doesn't want anybody that wants to work less. He wants people that want to get in the grind.
You want to get in the mud on that? That was a shot at Will Ospreay. We both know that. That was that was maybe not a shot at Will Ospreay.
Well,
it was a response to the criticism that he supposedly didn't. He didn't give Will Ospreay a real chance.
Television.
Well, I don't know that it was even directed at Roman.
Well,
because he's talking about
himself a better contract where he didn't have to come to work, is what he said.
Correct. And that's what I said.
This guy on my t-shirt's been dead for almost 40 years, and he defended the championship more this year than Roman has.
Who's on your t-shirt?
Bruiser Brody.
Oh, stop it. We love old Bruiser. But
if he keeps the championship, let's say they don't never take it off of him and he beats Bruno's record, it's still not as impressive.
Oh, but I beat Bruno. Oh.
Yeah. My tag team, the Medics, has been tag team champions since 2010, but we hadn't defended it either.
Well, and that breaks down your internet wrestling debate. Is it quantity or is it quality? And your argument is it's quantity. You don't care about the quality of the run. You want the quantity.
He could show up and defend it against your local independent wrestler. He walks in, he goes, I'm just here for my once every 30 days, my mandatory title defense. And then he goes out and he beats a enhancement guy that you've never heard of in 30 seconds. And then there's even more heat on him. But he at least did it once every 30 days. That's the old guy in me. But the championship, if the championship's not supposed to be defended once every 30 days, then why do we strip a wrestler when he gets hurt? Oh, you can just be champion till you get back. Roman went over 60 days without defending it. You're only going to be out for 5 weeks. Why not?
Right.
But so many times they have to come out and they have to give that, they cry and hand the belt over because I'm unable to continue. But
Yep.
it's okay for the biggest star in your company to not defend the title for over 60 days.
I love B40 here. Number one, he's pointing out that The Rock is still box office at 51 years old. He looked fantastic last night. Dwayne Johnson's in better shape than when he was the world champion. And thank you to performance enhancing drugs
Well,
and a very liberal drug testing wellness policy.
he's also
But he's
the
also an
biggest box
Hollywood actor
office.
who, yeah.
But they made him lose
He,
weight. Remember when he was in Walking Tall and how skinny he got and
yep.
how he trimmed down?
Yep.
That's what they wanted him to do for that role. But now he's such a big star that he can be jacked to the gills because he doesn't have to. He don't have to. He doesn't have to slim down for that. Because I remembered how little he looked, and there was a clip I saw of him that he looked small, and I remembered that for one of those roles they wanted him to lose some weight, and I guess I don't know if he ever said he got off the cycle, but he slimmed way down, and he didn't have to do that anymore, and he's on a different level. The best guy that they have, the best regular guy they have on any channel is not playing on the same level that The Rock plays on.
Right. The last
his
time
delivery, his charisma.
The last
He
time
is
you had something this provocative, this entertaining, this demanding that you don't miss it was when Stone Cold Steve Austin had the business on fire.
Yeah, Rock always been cycling.
Yeah. Well, he might have been, but he was a little more tempered with it in the 90s and the early 2000s.
Heather Whitley gets me.
Well, I get you. I'm an old school NWA fan. I understand the 30-day thing, but I also understand to the points in the comment that he does have cancer, that if he does get sick, you have to be very careful with the way that you use Roman. They have also made an incredible difference in what we saw Roman in 15 and Roman in 24. He has become the heel. He doesn't need Paul Heyman to talk for him. But everybody wants to see Paul Heyman because Paul Heyman is Paul Heyman. And
Now,
who doesn't want to watch Paul Heyman come out and stare at Roman the way all of us hope we find our partners staring at us someday? Because it's a total package. The bloodline, the music, the lights, the fireworks, the intro, Heyman on the mic, or just even with the gestures. It's the total presentation that makes this work.
now,
Even if he has to cock his fist every time he throws that stupid Superman punch.
it was
But anyway.
very, very necessary for Paul Heyman to get Roman Reigns to where he is, though, because somebody had to get that suffering succotash stuff off of him. I mean, they had damaged him with that, trying to make him gee whiz, golly howdy, like John Cena. And
yeah, he's a 275. He's a 275-pound Samoan badass. You don't need to water him down.
They fumbled the ball very badly with him.
Yep.
And Paul Heyman washed all that off of him.
Yep.
Paul Heyman is the MVP for Roman Reigns. Without
well,
question.
and I'll point this out. The last time Rock and Roman shared a ring was 2015 in Philly at the Rumble, and The Rock came out to save the show and got his ass booed out of the building. They weren't booing last night when The Rock and Roman held the titles up in the aisleway, and you pan to the same shot that we saw of Cody from the year before, which I think is a magnificent illusion and callback. Great on WWE production for that, because tonight, if we're going to talk predictions, I don't think you get out of Philadelphia alive if Cody Rhodes does not win the world title.
But I want this so bad. I'm going to try to speak it into existence because I love Cody Rhodes. I didn't used to. I get it now. I get it. I've wanted him to turn heel and become Highlander because that's what he is. He would be so much better as a heel, but because how he is with kids, I know that he's the new John Cena with these kids. The kids love him, and he's so good with the children. Yep. I mean, what he did, just the little interaction that he had with my grandchildren, I will never forget how he connected with them. And I saw it, and I've seen him do it with other kids. I get it. He's not going to be a heel, but he's going to finish the story. And when he finishes the story, just like he said Friday night, as soon as one story ends, an even better story begins. And I can't think of a better way for it to begin than for Damian Priest to slide in. And after the 4-year story is finished, after War and Peace comes to an end, the new story begins after Cody's been the champion for all of 2 minutes.
Well, James R. Martin has written this book, so it would not surprise me if we get a Game of Thrones fuck you at the end of the show tonight. If you're talking
Yeah,
about
but they
who,
better watch out because they're in Dirty Delphia and it'll be Red Wedding.
that's what I'm saying. Who wrote? Yeah, exactly. You watch Game of Thrones. But here's the thing. And I've said this on our show. I say it on your show. I'll say it on everybody's show. You ask me. I think Cody Rhodes wins tonight, but
And he
I
should.
and he should. I think Cody Rhodes is a far better babyface in the chase position, like his father was, than he is as a champion in the defending position. Because when he chased Nick Aldis for the NWA World Title, it worked. When he was chasing Jericho in AEW, it worked. When he was in Ring of Honor and he was in the Bullet Club, it worked. Even though he was a heel, kind of then. Now that he is the face of WWE and the People's Champion, then Cody Rhodes is better in the chase position. However, they can give it to him. It'll be a 90-day reign, and they're going to find a way to screw him out of it, unless they do what you said. But you better be careful in Philly.
Well, and chilling with Chase is saying Priest is just goofy right now, and we can't have the dumbest character win over Cody or Roman. But let's keep in mind that this is Money in the Bank. So when you cash in that way, you really hadn't impressed anybody. You didn't. I mean, what did you do? You climbed a ladder. Okay, big fat fucking hairy deal. So if he cashes in, let's say he cashes in tonight and he's the champion. How about tomorrow night on Raw that Gunther relieves him of that championship and then Cody chases Gunther all summer? That would be a good story. That's a new story.
I mean, it
And
would be very
I'm in for that.
compelling.
Because again, I've said that I thought that Gunther should have been the one to end Roman Reigns' reign and stood there with both belts and retired the Intercontinental title. Y'all gonna have to go find a new champion because now I'm the man. But if Damian Priest came in and stole it from Cody and Gunther got a title shot on Monday night, that could start Cody chasing Gunther, and I'm here for it because Gunther's built for this.
Yeah.
Gunther's
Yeah,
definitely built to be the heavyweight champion of the world.
Post WrestleMania is going to be so much fun, and I know we're not there yet, Dave. But you've got Gunther. We mentioned
Oh.
AJ Styles. You got Kevin Owens. You've got Logan Paul. You've got Randy Orton. We didn't talk about Shinsuke Nakamura because he didn't make the show. But you've got a lot of dance partners for a lot of guys. And who the hell knows what happens on Raw Monday?
Let's talk about that, Andrew. Shinsuke Nakamura did not make the show.
Right.
Chad Gable had a cameo. He did not make the show.
Correct.
How many wrestlers did not make the show? I salute WWE for going back to the old days to where not everybody by birthright gets to be on WrestleMania. They put together the best card. Now they did do the 6-pack challenge and got a lot of people in there. But what I'm saying is the Andre the Giant Battle Royal was to get everybody a WrestleMania payday. Well,
Correct.
they're all under contract now, so I don't know how many WrestleMania paydays there actually are anymore. Because I mean, you're already selling out everywhere. Everybody's under contract. But what I'm saying is they didn't weaken the showdown just to make people feel good by putting them on the show. They didn't get as many bodies on the show as they possibly could. And I respect that, getting it back to where maybe you got to work hard all year to be noticed to get to be on the grandest stage of them all.
Well, and then you don't end up with 18 hours of WWE wrestling either in 2 days.
Last night, that show was over in 4 hours, and it felt like it was over in 2. It was so, I wasn't tired when it was over. It wasn't drug out. It was well paced, and shout out to whoever's directing now with his camera angles. The new camera angles,
so good
with the drones shooting down, following wrestlers to the ring or through Gorilla. man, I'm just so excited. I sound like a WWE fanboy.
Well,
And
and I'm with you because one of the things that we talked about or that we didn't mention yesterday, one thing AEW has had the advantage of in pay-per-views over the last couple years with let's say it started last year, the advantage started to go away, was they were able to pace a 4.5 or 5 hour show to where it was a roller coaster ride. And WWE didn't always feel that way, to your point, because everybody had to get on the show. We had to get our shit in. It's 7.5 hour Mania. You're sitting there just sitting through it, whatever. The
I went
pacing
to
last
WrestleMania
night was ridiculously fast.
8 years ago. I was in Dallas for that WrestleMania, and it was my 50th birthday, and I feel like I turned 51 before it was over.
Correct. And that's what I'm getting at. The pacing made all the difference, but there were also great matches, good storytelling, and that's what
Yes.
makes this fun. So
Well,
I think
well,
this is going to be one hell of a match. Obviously, one thing we didn't talk about, Dave, it's Bloodline rules, Gaga galore. Bless you, Pat Patterson. But I promise you, that's what we're going to get tonight: is Gaga. And who knows what the Gaga looks like, other than you can expect Bloodline interference. Some rumor could get Austin off the ranch, could get Cena there. Who knows? But they didn't really exhaust surprise last night. So tonight might be the night where you get the big reveals and the surprises.
maybe we'll have a big debut to help Cody. Maybe Austin will take care of The Rock. Everybody says Cena, but Cena's got his ass kicked so much lately. I don't even think that. I mean, I don't see that Cena as being a threat. The last
But
time we
Cena
saw him,
has the history with The Rock. That's the thing. The New York matches.
yeah.
The New York, New Jersey pay-per-view.
Well, Stone Cold has a history with him too.
Yeah, and they did great 15, 17, and 19.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Jacob Fatu is signed. Yes, sir. Yep. Saw
Is that
that in the
announced that
chat.
he signed?
I believe it was.
Okay.
It was certainly speculated.
I do think that there's going to be a new Samoan show up, and I don't think he's going to be there. I don't think he's going to be there for Roman. But it's going to be fun. And
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to
they
it.
better have something planned if he doesn't finish the story tonight.
Yeah, extra security. Because you thought the riot in '85 when the Horseman broke Dusty's leg and the Omni was good. Philadelphia boos Santa Claus, for God's sake. They are ready to blow the roof off this place. Well, there's not a roof.
Wants to know, do we see MJF tonight? God, I hope so.
Nope, he's still under contract. I'm not convinced that they didn't sign a contract with AEW. If Tony Khan let Jade Cargill, Cody Rhodes, and MJF get away from him, somebody take his checkbook away from him and his Adderall, because clearly the drug addiction has gotten to him.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I think that if MJF was not under contract, if he was free to show up, I think that out of spite, Tony Khan would have ruined it.
Yeah.
At this point, I think that it would have been leaked that he's, you never know. They've surprised us before. I'm so excited for tonight. I'm pumped up, and hopefully that after WrestleMania, you'll join us back here and we'll talk about it to the wee hours. Because if I come off this show thinking how I'm going to come off this show, I'm not going to be able to sleep anyway. We're doing this, if you've noticed, whichever channel you're watching it on, the Filter Free Popcast, the TNA Top 10, Talking Wrestling with Palm Water Dave. We're all here to tell you about the RAM Network. The RAM Network is our Patreon, where we will be providing a lot of bonus content. It will not take away from our shows that we do on the live feed. But if you go to theramnetwork.com, that's our Patreon. We're going to be doing loads of bonus content. My show, the Audience with the Belt Pope, where I feature a championship belt. I've got 77 of them. We're going to have quite a run featuring championship belts. I'll be doing world-class watch-alongs. Andrew, tell them what you're doing.
So we're going to be doing at some point a table for three with you and TJ. Allison, Faye, and myself will be doing a cooking review. since that's one of my hobbies. I believe that Dave and Dave in the HSV, host or co-host of Filter Free Pop, we're going to be going through NWA starting right before the gathering and the formation of the Four Horsemen and the Hard Times promo. And we're going to take it to the end of WCW, provided people like that content. And Chillin' with Chase is 100% correct. Talking Wrestling is a great find. I know Dave's here, but I'd tell him behind his back as well to his face. That show is kicking on all cylinders. Check out their guest, Independent Wrestling. It's funny, it's lighthearted, and they do a very good job. Amy, Dave, and that awful Justin Davis, who I will never put over, but he is awful. But they do a great job on that show. Lots of fun guests. So we've got a lot lined up. It's a matter of getting it recorded for some of it because it's scheduling. And once we get the ball rolling, there's going to be enough content to keep us all busy, I think. So I'm very excited about it.
Well, me too. I think I'm super pumped about it. But we will be back probably within 15 minutes of the show ending tonight to do our WrestleMania post-game show. Join us then. We want to thank you for spending your Sunday afternoon with us. We appreciate you more than you ever know. We know you have a choice. There's lots of wrestling entertainment to consume this weekend, and it means the world to us that y'all chose to spend an afternoon with us. For Andrew Hermes, I'm Palm Water Dave, and we will see you tonight. Enjoy WrestleMania, everybody.